So these are the four investments you must be making if you're in your 20s. And with everything going on right now, from wars, AI, and assets just continuing to go through the roof, it's never been more important to get yourself in position. Because the question is, are you going to be fighting for the scraps, or are you actually going to be winning big? Your 20s are a very powerful period financially. Most people are just in cruise mode and they think that they'll sort it out later. But it's the decisions that you make in your 20s that compound a lot. And when you look back in your 40s, 50s, 60s, this is when you realize how important that period is, because this is what sets you up and what gets you going in the right direction. And I don't think people understand how important that is. So let's go through it. Number one, you need to invest into real assets and hold them. Now, it's never been more important now, especially in your 20s, to be investing consistently and monthly. There are many, many reasons behind this. Number one is the fact that we've got a purchasing power that is fading massively, a dollar that is in collapse. You notice everything's getting more expensive around you, and that's because your dollar continues to get printed more and more, and it takes more dollars to be able to purchase natural necessities. I mean, look around you. It's now 11% inflation on groceries, and I'll be honest, that number is completely fake. I think it's a lot more. Look around, petrol prices, you know what's going on with the war, your basic necessities, utilities like energy bills, they're not really going up at the inflation rate, are they? And if you leave your money in the bank, just sitting there for decades, you're losing out to this inflation, to this money that's just going down in value. And in the long run, you're going to get killed by this invisible tax, because that's what it is. It's an invisible tax that no one talks about. That's why it's never been more important, especially in your 20s, to get it right and start investing. Now, some of the things that I like, no financial advice. Bitcoin, gold, and silver, they're excellent. Even stocks right now are really good to get into, although I personally believe that they're overvalued. But you got to get into something and get moving. So if you're saving, you're guaranteed to be a loser. This is something that no one talks about. If you sit in a bank making potentially 5%, while everything's going up in price by 10, 15, 20% per year, you've lost, guaranteed. The other thing, which no one talks about, is the importance of compounding interest. The idea that if you get started in your 20s, the advantage is ridiculous. So I just want to bring some figures to your attention right now. So if you invest $1,000 per month, which in today's world, I honestly believe that's the bare minimum, but you put it in from the ages of 20 years old to 60 years old, that's 40 years, $1,000 per month. You get 5.3 million in total savings. That's with a 10% return every year, which with the market and the way it is right now, that is the bare minimum. Like the S&P 500 is doing about 20% right now, and that's bare basics. So if you're getting bare minimum from your investing, you're going to be at 5.3 million. Just if you put $1,000 away every month. Now, let's change that. Instead, let's say you only invest from the ages of 30 to 60. So you neglect your 20s and you didn't start investing. You only have a savings of 1.9 million. So we're talking a difference from just 10 years of potentially $3 million. Because at that end phase, that's when the real compounding happens. And that's why I talk about the importance of this point, being able to hold your assets. It's one thing to be able to invest, but when things go bad, you got to be able to sit there and hold. So this is why, because this compounding effect, it's never been more important to get this started in your 20s. So if you're seeing this now, you're in your 20s, I'd be getting nervous. I'd be thinking, wow, if I don't get started, I'm going to fall behind. So it's just a note to consider. $3 million is a result of 10 years. Number two, your skills. Now, I know you hear the cliche saying all the time, your most important investment is yourself. But the reality is that's the case. Because the other thing that I believe that is so important, and I state on this channel over and over again, is your income. You need to be able to increase your income because that's how you fund these investments. Now, in order to have a strong income, you need to be able to have the skills to offer to the market. That's where you have to invest into yourself. Right now, your focus should essentially be on these high income skills, skills which businesses are paying for to be able to improve how they're running things. Looking at some items that I can put on the top of my head, I'm looking at sales, marketing, coding, analytics, AI, business building. These skills create real economic value. And when you create value, that's where you get paid, that's where you get an income increase. And then the cool part is, as you increase your skills, you get paid more, you can invest more, and you can create this really cool flywheel effect. That's where you continue to get your income and pump it into assets. And what will happen over time is, as you build this flywheel, they'll come to a point where your assets are making so much that it's replacing your income, and you can just cycle it around over and over again. This is a magical thing which I'm looking to build, and that is true financial freedom. The other point that I want to mention with your skills is the AI opportunity, because a lot of people are going to miss out on this. And I mean, it's going to be massive, because the reality is that most people are going to lose out to AI, whether we like it or not. But if you can skill yourself up, understand what AI is doing, experiment and find ways to implement it into your business or into what you offer, you can be that guy that implements your AI systems into companies. And when they see that value, that you can add extra speed to the business, extra something, they're going to pay you money to be able to implement these systems into their businesses. So it's never been a more important time to specifically work on skills in AI. Number 3, your personal brand. Now, I'll be honest, this is something which I wish I started a bit earlier. A personal brand is essentially where you're putting together content, as I'm doing right now, and you're sharing it with people. Because in my opinion, this is something very important and very special, because when you're getting attention from people, that's the ultimate leverage. That's where, by putting these videos together that people watch over and over again, you've got a huge leverage on time. By being able to put together a video for 10 minutes and get millions of people to watch it over and over again, that's the ultimate form of leverage. I also didn't realize the importance of having an audience behind you. People that love what you're doing, love what you're watching, and are willing to pay for access to you. And this is where I learned something very cool from an article, and it's called 1000 True Fans. I'll put a link to it in the description below. But 1000 True Fans is the idea that you don't need to have a product that's unbelievable, that makes $5,000 per month or anything crazy like that. What you can actually do is essentially have 1,000 fans that pay you $100 per year, and that gives you $100,000. Just like that. You have to have 1,000 diehard fans that will do anything or stand by you no matter what. And by having those 1,000 fans, you've got something. You don't need to have millions of subscribers, 10 million subscribers. You don't need to be Mr. Beast. This is all you need. And in terms of how to monetize this audience, I've looked into it, and by far the coolest thing that I've seen is Skool. The idea of being able to create a paid community where you offer something to a group of people and they pay to have access to you and your community, because that offers two things. It offers access towards yourself, and it offers community where other like-minded people are able to talk to each other. I want to show you some examples that I've just pulled up on my screen, and I actually can't believe it. So right now on Skool, if you look at what the number one thing right now is, it's that pickleball school. Like 1,300 members are paying $49 per month to learn how to play pickleball. Pickleball. I don't believe it. Then the acting lab, there's another one, 174 members, $200 per month. People are paying money to have access to these actors, and what they want is they want a set result. You can build money out of nothing by putting a community together like this and having an audience behind you that backs you. However, in order to do this, you need time to be able to build a personal brand and then put videos together like I'm doing right now. It's going to take you years, and that's why it goes into this category of something you need to do in your 20s. You need to have a lot of patience, and you need to sit back with this like any other investment and it needs time, probably years, 2 to 3 years. But for me, I'm happy to do this. I'm 24 years old. By the time I'm 30, I'm confident that I'll have something put together where it will support me, and hopefully I can help a lot of people that are watching this video. If you want to support me, by the way, shameless plug, but feel free to subscribe. Number 4 is your financial education. This one, I can't believe how much I realized, especially when I graduated from high school. I realized how little I understood about money. They don't teach you at all in high school about what an asset is, what a liability is, what cash flow is and how that truly works, what a balance sheet is, what an income statement is. You realize that you actually don't have a clue about money. And real learning starts when you step away from high school and when you start reading books, when you start taking in real knowledge. This financial education will just expand your mind so much on what to do with your money, and you'll have a different mindset on everything. Just to be clear, I'm no genius. I'm 24 years old. I'm still reading and I'm still building my knowledge, but I feel like I've done pretty well and I've built myself into a stable position with my knowledge, but I've still got so much to learn and I'm open-minded. I want to go through a couple books that just, changed my life, and I just realized, opened up my eyes. Let me get them. I've pulled it up. Number 1, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. What a book this was. This teaches you about the mindset of money and essentially the steps that you need to follow to be able to build richness and greatness. And you realize that your mindset is in the wrong direction. It's the think part that is really important, thinking and growing and building yourself into someone that can get riches. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki is another one which I like the most. This one opens your mind. You realize that your mindset on money is completely wrong. That at the end of the day, you need to understand what an asset is, what a liability is, that what you were taught about money is completely false, and that instead this is what you need to be doing. He teaches you about lessons that the rich don't actually work for money. They work for assets. People are always chasing dollars and cents, but you need to be chasing assets. And then on top of that, the Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, another great book, that just teaches you that there's different ways of making cash flow. Most people just think a cash flow is from a 9 to 5, but you can extend that outwards into different brackets like a business or investments. Then we get into stuff like business building, and I think of stuff like .com Secrets by Russell Brunson, $100 million offers, and $100 million leads by Alex Hormozi. These are excellent books on understanding on the internet how to be able to build a business. And before I go any further, I also want to shout out The Big Print by Lawrence Lepard. I've got that on Kindle and I've read that book, and that just teaches you that the dollar well and truly is cooked, and the importance of doing step 1, which was investing. So if you can combine all these 4 together, your assets, skills, a financial education, and a personal brand, by the time you're 30, you can be set. And if you just put 5 years of committed work towards this, you will be somewhere very strong. And I believe that from the bottom of my heart. I believe it because I'm doing it myself, and I'll prove it to you that it's going to work. I've seen other people countless times over and over again that are doing this, and I wouldn't be posting this video if I wasn't sure that this is what's going to take you forwards. So, to close this video out, your 20s aren't a period to show off. They aren't a period to appear rich and then buy a bunch of bullcrap. It's a period where we've got to lock in. We've got to focus and build on those 4 critical areas. Because I believe that with the way things are going right now, things are going to get more and more difficult. The dollar is in a collapse. Things are going to get difficult. It's going to become harder to get control of money and be able to buy things. You need to have yourself in a scenario where you've got this strong cash flow and you've got things set up for you where you can just become a money printer. And in order to do that, you need to have those 4 things. So I don't want you to be someone who's in their 30s or in their 40s in regrets. You need to be working hard and need to be working now. If you're one of those people, you've watched this video and you've realized, man, I want to lock in my 20s and I want to put in the work, I ask you to subscribe to this channel. My focus is on building in your 20s and being able to build a financial future. And I'm helping other people in their 20s to be able to increase their incomes and also be able to invest into real assets. So if you like this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. Also, if you want to post a comment, feel free to do that now and I'll be happy to respond. I hope you enjoyed this video.